Good morning, this is Jack from TheArtofChart.net, and this is a pre-market recording for the morning of 6th of August. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to our own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, well, we've got the new all-time high on ES, and we're going to get it in all probability on SPX as soon as we open today. We haven't quite made every possible target here, but we're pretty much there. That was one of them. NQ obviously made the new all-time high yesterday and is failing there so far. So I'm not sure. It doesn't need to go any higher, and it may not. RTY, I was wondering about a possible retest of this high here, and we're pretty close to it. I think we're going to get it. That could well be the second high of a double top when we do get it. YM has come back up and is pretty close to an all-time high, new all-time high, and that is another target I'm expecting to get sorted out this morning. DAX broke up, didn't make the weak sell signal target, and probably won't, although it may last and then capture the next leg down. Expect looking for a retest of the all-time high there too. And we're pretty close to it, and we've already had it on ESTX. So that is pretty much equities. What are we looking for in terms of, well, ideally, we would get some 60-minute negative divergence. We don't need to go much higher. I've got the obvious trendline resistance in about the 44.35 to 40.40 area. We could overthrow it a bit, but there's no particular reason to think that we're going to. It looks like everything's going to be at target soon, and we'll see how it goes from there. So SPX. Obviously, we've still got the daily RSI 5 sell signal fixed. We've got the RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and it's exactly the same on NDX, except the RSI 5 sell signal hasn't fixed yet. But it's now brewing because obviously we made the new all-time high, so that gives us the divergence on the high so far. Could it break up through it? Yes. Could SPX break up through this? Yes. But we've got good trendline resistance here, and I'm expecting it to hold. So we will see. I've got the trendline resistance here. I've got that in about the 44.50 area. Yeah, it's so yeah, 44.35 to, well, 44.40 area probably ideally. Standing was looking for the 44.40 to 50 area. That is entirely doable. We don't need to get that high, but it is entirely doable. NDX, we've got this trendline resistance here. I've got that resistance at about the 15,000, might be as high as 15,300 now. I'm looking for that to hold too. These two nice resistance trend lines have held everything so far. And I'm expecting them to hold it now. Although obviously in terms of the SPX one particularly, on wedges, when you reach a high, you can overthrow them. So I am watching out for that as a potential. Okay, and that is equities. So we'll see how that goes. Now, DX, looking pretty interesting this morning. This is broken up from declining resistance, and we've got quite a nice move up here, actually. The buy signal has made target. And I'm wondering if this flag has broken up. It might have done, in which case this may be opening up a retest of this high here in the 93.195 area. Looking at the other currencies, we had a nice bull flag here on Euro, which has broken down, and looking for a retest of that low there. GBP USD. This is still trading in the zone. I think this is still forming a bull flag in all probability. This is probably going to hold the certainly the monthly pivot, unless we are going to see a significant breakup beyond the retest of the high on DX. USD JPY, nice rally here with the dollar. No current negative divergence. USD CAD. Coming back up, next obvious target, if it reaches it, would be this possible higher chestnut line in the 1.261 area. Australian dollar still looks like a bear flag forming, and maybe a bear flag forming. It hasn't broken down yet. NZUSD broke the flag there, broken short-term rising support. Nothing really much to add on that. CL. Now, CL had a buy signal, and that has made target. I was talking about a maximum I was expecting to see in the 70.5 area, and we've seen 70. No current negative divergence. Could be failing there. It's a bit deep for a back test of the broken head and shoulder neckline, but this is currently just another back test of the broken head and shoulder neckline. Not much reason to think this is going to go higher than this. NG 60-minute sell signal is fixed. We went back and made the retest. This could be the second high of a double top. We will see. If it gets back below this triangle support in the 3.9 area, then I would be treating this as a double top in process. Obviously, when we got to break the double top support in the 3.83 area, we'd have the usual decision where it can reject back into the high or head down to support. But if it did head down to support, we'd be looking for that in about 3.5 area. Okay, GC. GC has broken down as the dollar has broken up. I'm expecting to see a retest of this low here at 17.53. SI has already retested the low. HG hasn't gone with the other metals, and it hasn't been going with the other metals lately. We've got a very nice support trend line here, and I'm expecting to see a test of this declining resistance trend line currently at about the 4.46 area. The 60-minute buy signal has reached target. Right, KC. KC looks like a bear flag forming, probably setting up for a retest of this low. SB. SB has retested this high. Could be the second high of a double top here. Not much to suggest that it is. No current divergence. CC. CC, nice looking double top here. Not expecting it to play out probably, but it could do. Looking for support of the weekly pivot and monthly pivot. As long as it is holding, certainly the monthly pivot, because the weekly pivot is of course the only weekly pivot, only the weekly pivot for today. As long as that's holding, then this can go higher. Wheat. Possible double top here too. Not much to expect. Not much reason to think that it is a double top, though. Corn still kicking around between the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot. Basically, the monthly pivot needs to be converted to support to open the upside. Soy, nice looking pattern here. Next obvious target is this resistance area here, 1360. Monthly pivot, weekly pivot, and declining resistance. Cotton. Retested the high, nice looking potential double top. Not much reason to think it's going to go down there. Lumber. Setting up for a retest this low, hasn't quite managed it yet, likely manages it soon. Okay, what questions we got today, guys? Right, in terms of ES, hang on. Well, that's a good question. Hang on, wait a second. One thing that's, I've mentioned this a couple of times on Chart Chat, but one thing that has mentioned it, and you've always got to be considering the alternate possibility, because the alternate possibilities are always there. One thing that I've wondered about on GC was what might happen if we broke this trend line here. Now, this trend line here is now slightly above 1750, I think, but if we broke it, we could be. I drew in this potential larger flag we would be forming, and this has got support in about the 1600 area. We could potentially go and get that if we had a really serious breakup. And I would say there is some reason to suspect we might have an issue there. For instance, we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the monthly chart on silver. We've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the monthly chart on silver. We have a potential level top on silver here. I'm not really expecting this to play out, but if we were to see a sustained break below 22, then we could be looking at a target in the 14 area. I don't see any reason to think that we're going to go there, but the setup is there, and I've been watching it, and I've drawn in the little double top support. It's something I'm keeping an eye on. So if we saw that, let's have a quick look at the dollar. Yeah, this is something I've thought about, because there's a couple of, monthly sell signals which haven't been resolved yet. I don't like those. That's we've got on the dollar, we've got a monthly RSI 5 buy signal here that isn't resolved yet. We've got a potential double bottom here. It's not ideal, but it's not bad. If we were to see a sustained break over 93.47, we could potentially be setting up for a move up into the 97.5 area. I'm not really seeing any reason to think we should be doing that, but it's certainly a possibility that's crossed my mind. We've got other sell signals too. We're on a daily RSI 14 sell signal now. We're on a weekly RSI 5 sell signal, but it's something, when you're in a situation like this and you're obviously in a consolidation, I wonder about it. The other thing is, if we are forming a bear flag here, we could, this is at the moment I've got this down as a triangle, we could head up to about the 94 area to form a bear flag channel. And sometimes triangles do evolve into channels. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm a little surprised. We had a nice flag, but sometimes the flag does break the other way. I do have an alternate scenario here on GC. We need to be aware of it. It could get back to 1600, in which case I suspect it'd be a great buy there. But obviously you wouldn't be want to be on that train while I was going there, I suspect. I'm looking for, if we get down below the retest of the low, then I will, and we convert that, then I will be wondering about a significant further move down. Okay, what questions you got today apart from that? Got anything on indices? We don't really have anything on indices in terms of short term. I'm waiting to see divergence, and I'm waiting to see the RTH charts, and I'm waiting to see the pattern set up from the last low, and I'm hoping to get some trend lines that are wedged together. If so, I will post them. But really, what we're doing is we're reaching all the targets now. We haven't quite made them all. I'm still expecting to see that RTY high retest, and YM should make a new all-time high too. Sugar. Now there is a question. So hang on, wait a second. Let me show you the sugar charts. On the bigger picture, a lot higher, an awful lot higher. So let's have a look and see the longer term sugar charts, and I'll show you why that is. Sugar, hang on, sorry, that's coffee. That is sugar, right. This is sugar over the bigger picture. This is the high in 2011. This is a decline of 90%. And this is it running off that. Do we have a really good reversal pattern here? Yeah, it's not bad, and it's an IHS. We could form a larger IHS right shoulder here, but that's really not bad at all as it stands. Sustained break up over, this is on the ETF, so it doesn't translate directly into sugar, but sorry, ETN. But a sustained break over 22, sorry, 32 would have a target on this pattern in about the 47 area. So what we're looking at there is a pattern which could take sugar up another 50%. And to be honest, this is the same across a lot of them. This is coffee. You can see this vast move here, and this is actually a pretty small looking double top. Sorry, double bottom. I was talking about a few weeks ago, and we set up a coffee long, and I was talking about this on a webinar. But here I've got a target in the 20 area, reach 17.46. This can go considerably higher, and that could be part of just a larger reversal pattern here if we get up and form this IHS. And even if that played out, that would only get us back to a 50% retracement. These came down a lot. These came down a huge amount from the highs in 2011. And my suspicion is they're going to make some or all of that back, and I think they've got a lot of upside. An awful lot. All right, okay. On equities, I'm going to be scanning the charts today. I'm going to be looking for a pattern from the last low. I'm going to be looking for trend lines, and I'm going to be looking for a turn today. We may see a high today. I would say, though, it is Friday. Fridays do tend to be bullish. We're in a bullish wave here. I'm not expecting to see much downside today. And we will see basically how everything survives at resistance. But I've no resistance, no current. The signal setup is nice. RSI setup is nice. Pattern setup is nice. It's all nice. As long as resistance holds here, we're making a high. So we will see how that goes. All right, guys. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone have a great weekend too. And my pleasure as always, and I'll catch you later.